use the brass knuckles. Ooh.
I was gonna say that was like an exploitation movie moment. TNT. Oh,
Damn,
wow.
dude, you are so fortunate.
Oh, what a shot. Yeah, with the reflections. Mwah. Soldiers of the Reject Battalion of the infantry unit Reject. We are here for a very fascinating occasion indeed. We are gonna, I don't know why I'm talking this way. We're gonna check out Band of Brothers. This is a beloved, I believe, HBO miniseries set during World War II. Andrew is here with me.
I am.
Andrew Flash Gordon.
John Bang Humphrey.
That's us. And yeah, we're gonna jump into this. I remember vividly when this was like first descending as a small, and so I remember people around me talking a lot about it, but I didn't get to start watching these kinds of war movies until I was a little bit older, so I haven't seen any of this. So this is gonna be fun. I know a lot of people love it though. How are you feeling, Andrew?
I'm feeling this is already getting me a little sad because I remember I did not watch a clip of this at all at home, but my dad used to watch this a lot. He loved this miniseries. I think another one of the miniseries that he was obsessed with was Rome, I believe. But this was one of the two miniseries he loved. So this is just making me feel about him. Yes. How are you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited.
It's
it's the start of a fresh week. It's a nice rainy day outside. Good weather to get into the muck with. And just generally, I always wish I had a better recollection of history and a knowledge for it. So, these things always kind of enrich my, just wanting to do more in service of that. So, yeah, I'm excited to hop in, excited to see what they show us, and excited to see what you guys have to say about the depictions, the accuracy, the history, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's fire up HBO and let's watch the shoe.
Store, and a guy in that store told us to put our uniforms on. He says the USA is in a war with Japan.
Jeez.
Well,
sure.
Our country was attacked. It's different. It wasn't like Korea or Vietnam. We was attacked. Maybe we just dumb country people, but where I come from, but a lot of us volunteered.
Yeah.
Who would like to volunteer for the Air Force? Who would like to volunteer for Navy or whatever? And then they said, who would like to volunteer for the Airborne? What the hell is the Airborne?
We came from a small town, and 3 fellows that were 4F came in because they couldn't go at a different time.
Different time indeed.
I did things. I didn't do them for medals. I didn't do them for accolades. I did them because it's what had to be done.
Yeah.
You got all your Army equipment, and you jump out of airplanes to fight the enemy.
This is the birth of the Air Force.
And then, I don't know what it was, brought it up, but the guy giving the speech was saying, but you get paid $50 a month more. So that made it $100.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger risk, bigger reward. Shit. Fascinating prelude.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they're aiming for authenticity. It really made it personal. And it was like there's a big difference between, going and inserting yourself into other nations' affairs.
Yeah, but I like how they're going to intertwine like the real guys with the characters that are going to be in the show.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an interesting blend.
I'm caught up in this montage, but there are like a bunch of character actors in here.
Ron Livingston? Isn't he?
Hey, there he is, right there.
Oh, Neil McDonough. Oh, okay.
David Schwimmer,
Donnie Wahlberg.
Freaking Donnie.
Wow, I didn't know any
Richard
of these.
Spade Jr.? Oh my God.
I didn't know any of these guys. I never really looked up the cast for this. The only thing I knew about this show coming into it was that Spielberg and Tom Hanks worked on it. That's the only thing I knew.
That's right, because Tom Hanks as well. As Spielberg, obviously, but Tom Hanks, too, is a big history buff.
Oh, Michael Kamen did the music? Oh, my God. Freaking legend, dude.
This is a great little montage.
Pretty sure Michael Kamen did Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
Hey.
Though my trivia's been a little off lately, John. I made an incorrect trivia thing on the other day when we did a certain DiCaprio film. I said Colleen Atwood was the costume designer.
No.
It was Bob Ringwood.
Oh no, Andrew!
It was the wood at the end.
Turn in your movie nerd card.
I have to, because at least we got engagement. I would assume. That was my plan all along.
It's the typo theory. You put a typo in.
Well, actually, you know what? When I looked at
engagement.
their names, I saw Wood. They both have at Wood, Ring Wood.
Hanks and Spielberg.
Yes.
Oh,
And is that Neil McDonough?
that's Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah. I actually saw him at a bar a few years back. I was like, oh, there he is.
Oh, Tom Hanks co-wrote the teleplay, huh?
Cool. Alden Robinson, he directed Field of Dreams.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Cool.
Dang, I did not know that. That image, yeah.
Yeah, that I did.
I've seen that, yeah. DVD box art a million times.
Haven't seen Field of Dreams in a while, but I remember enjoying that movie.
Part 1. Kurahi.
No, I have the.
Or is it Kurahi?
I'm.
Kurahi.
Oh,
June 4,
okay, so
1944.
I know we're close to D-Day.
A Pottery, England.
That's the little I know of history. Was it June 6th?
That's the trivia you got to study.
Yes.
Wow, the sepia tone. Yeah, the spirit's totally different when you've been attacked. Like, war is always an ugly affair, but like when you've been attacked and you're in a position to defend your home, it's just a way different motivation and vibe than if you're just trying to go assert yourself into some other situation that doesn't directly involve you. Not that there aren't, it's all complex, but that feeling of like, yeah, we just wanted to go. We just wanted to do something, It's like, I get it, man.
Oh, my God.
Hey, there he is. Yeah, Richard Spade Jr. Supernatural.
Whoa.
Trickster.
This is cool.
Now the Channel Coast is socked in with rain and fog. High winds on the drop zone. No jump tonight.
Oh.
The invasion has been postponed. We're on a 24-hour stand down. Two sergeants, take charge.
I still got my 50 extra bucks.
This is quite a surprise.
What?
Not particularly. It so happens I rather expected it.
Which Cary Grant movie is this? I should know.
Don't know my old cinema. My dad would probably know.
For whose
God, he's not even watching the movie.
you're so interested in serving a cause.
He's just so dissuade that not going to. Kind of looks like
Looks like Fassbender.
Fassbender. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think it's clearing up.
Ron Livingston.
Think it's clearing up?
Nope.
Mhm.
I think it's clearing up. 5 o'clock in New York. 4 o'clock in Chicago.
Happy hour, huh?
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Civilized place for civilized men.
Should have been born earlier, Nix.
What, and give up all this?
Oh, the little parachutes on their
Yeah,
caps.
I literally noticed as you said it.
And their patches and their little pins and stuff. I wonder, because I know there are rules about like what you can depict on screen.
We'll go to Chicago. I'll take you there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Huh.
First, we got to survive this ordeal.
I hope they get to make good on that. But yeah, I know you can, at least in the here and now, only show certain types of uniforms that they can't be fully accurate. So I wonder what the rules are about.
112 days of that son of a... Here we are.
Airborne. I actually made a movie called Airborne in '93, I think. I really like that movie.
2 years earlier.
Oh, so we're going to see the
Camp
training?
Toccoa, Georgia.
Because they said 712 days, right?
Yeah. Whoa. I think that's an early CG establishing shot, maybe?
You people are at the position
Hey.
of attention.
Whoa.
Don't laugh, okay?
I was going to say watching a lot of Friends and then going right into this.
I've never seen Friends, so I can take this more seriously, I guess.
Picante, have you been blousing your trousers over your boots like a paratrooper?
No, sir.
That explained the creases at the bottom.
No excuse, sir.
Volunteering for the Parachute Infantry is one thing, Picante, but you've got a long way to prove that you belong here. Your weekend pass is revoked.
Jeez.
Damn. You don't get a
Dirt in the rear sight aperture, pass revoked.
weekend pass has to be like a huge deal
I
for you.
would
in this
imagine
life.
that's what
Like,
they look forward to all week long, is to get to that. I think that guy was.
Martin's all right.
I think that guy was in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and
When did you
Negotiator.
sew on these chevrons, Sergeant Lipton?
Yesterday, sir.
Long enough to notice this.
Mhm.
Revoked.
Sir.
Damn, Donnie. It's the wrong stuff.
Got to take it like a man.
Rusty bayonet, Liebgott. You want to kill Germans?
Yes, sir.
Not with this.
Oof.
Now, thanks to these men and their infractions, every man in the company who had a weekend
Revoked.
pass has lost it.
Wow.
Ooh.
Change into your PT gear. We're running curry heat.
Eesh.
Curry. All right.
Fall out. We have 2 minutes.
God. And you just gotta yes, sir, and go about it. I ain't running up that hill, Kate Bush.
Connie, what are you thinking of? Blouse in your pants.
Shut up, Lon, all right? He gigged everybody.
Don't give him no excuses.
Why don't you come here, look at these trousers, get down, and you tell me if there's a crease on them.
Dude, be part of the team. You don't want to code red.
Conte, let's go for Conte.
Yeah, come on, man.
Private White, why are you not in your PT gear?
How'd you get that scar by your eye?
I asked you a question, Private.
That shot looked reversed. Huh. What's going on with you? Are they going to be able to proceed without you? Are you going to get discharged? Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 miles up, 3 miles down.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Incline walking is tough. Ooh.
Ow, ow, ow. Oh, no.
What do you think, John? Specialist, or does he need to go to the regular doctor?
I don't know, man. The knee or an ankle, he might have to go to the sports guy. Was that the Lone Ranger?
I think. I just remember that in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, but I would assume that's what he was referencing.
God,
I've never seen that.
that wide of the camp. Oof.
Wow. That's really cool shot.
Yeah, use your location, boy. That's a lot of blocking, geographically speaking.
I wonder where they filmed this at.
We are coming on 23 minutes. That may be good enough for the rest of the 506, but that is not good enough for Easy Company.
Oof. Easy Company. There's an ironic name.
Ooh, that's so much more difficult.
Yeah.
All that gear and your weapon.
The eagle with the dice on his patch there. Ow. Oh, my God. Well, and yeah, it's a good exercise in, like, you pick your man up, you keep the unit as strong as you can.
Only as good as your weakest link.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, you're like trickling down leadership. You took all the way weekend passes away. You give them all these things that they can point at, and then you're going to see if they can make something out of that or just devolve into fighting.
I'm gonna say something.
Uh-oh. Michael Cudlitz.
Are you talking about the guy on the left? Yeah, that's the one I said was, I think, in Dragon the Bruce Lee story, Negotiator, and I think D3 the Mighty Ducks.
Sir, we got 9 companies, sir. We do. Well, how come we're the only company marching every Friday night?
You're the only one that's probably going to survive then.
Why do you think, Private Ranneman?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Sobel hates us, sir.
Uh-huh.
Lieutenant Sobel does not hate Easy Company, Private Ranneman. He just hates you.
He just hates you.
I want canteens out of belts with the caps unscrewed.
Easy Company, canteens out and open.
On my command, they will pour the contents onto the ground.
Oh, my.
Pour them.
You can see it's raining there, too.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Whoa.
Christensen, why is there no water in your canteen? You drank from your canteen, didn't you?
Ooh.
You have disobeyed a direct order. You will fill your canteen and repeat all 12 miles of the march immediately.
Yes,
wow.
All out!
That sucks.
Yeah, David Schwimmer's scary in this.
You're late, and you allow troopers to disobey direct orders?
No excuse, sir.
You're making me look bad, Lieutenant.
Yeah.
I want the names of 6 men, their infractions, and your disciplinary recommendations on my desk by 0130.
What infractions, sir?
Find some.
Wow. Damn.
It's going to turn you into him.
He's going to iron every single crease.
Michelangelo's a genius. You know a man in this company who wouldn't double-time Curry with a full pack just to piss in that guy's morning coffee?
Let's see that operation.
1,000, 2,000.
Oh.
Man in the door. Go! 1,000, 2,000. You just broke both your legs, Private Gordon.
Andrew, get it together.
My bad.
Oh. Man, my dude's having trouble, Richard Spate. Who ordered that? Somebody, I think one of our patrons, maybe? Somebody ordered Greg a Richard Spate Jr. cameo for, like, his birthday or something, I think.
Mm.
Wow. Whoa!
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Ooh. Do they, like, put animal guts in there or something?
Know,
or is that leftover people pieces?
Authentic to how the real dealio would be.
Why are you here, Private Gordon?
I want to be in the airborne, sir.
You have 50 minutes to the top and back, and I will be watching you.
Wow.
What are you waiting for?
Okay.
We Gordon's got to work on our body language.
Yeah, man.
50 minutes.
What? Oh, no. Don't take a shortcut, bro. Are they going to put somebody out here to, like, mess with him? Oh. Whoa. Oh.
Easy Company has the finest performance record in the entire 2nd Battalion.
So he, like, sent him back up?
I believe every bit of that is thanks to you. Congratulations, Captain Sobel.
Thank you, sir.
Is that like an exercise in training him to hate me but love the company?
Isn't that Lieutenant Winters leading Easy Company in PT?
Yes, sir.
He's a damn good man. I was planning on giving him a set of these today. Why don't you do it?
Aw. They're good at demonstrating the, like, chain of empowerments.
Non-regulation clothing. Contraband.
Ah.
This man had 200 prophylactic kits in his footlocker.
Wow.
How in the name of God was he going to have the strength to fight the war?
Captain, personal letters to be considered contraband.
Oh, my.
These men aren't paratroopers yet, Lieutenant. They have no personal property.
Ooh. Wow. Damn. Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Wow.
Baby Peg?
Jesus.
It's a can of peaches, sir.
Going
Lieutenant
to the
Nixon
country.
thinks this is a can of peaches. That is
Lieutenant
incorrect,
Nixon?
Lieutenant. Your weekend pass is canceled.
Oh,
This is United States Army property, and I will not tolerate thievery in my unit. Whose footlocker is this?
My way or the highway.
Private Parks, sir. Get rid of him.
Kill him.
All weekend passes are canceled, officers included.
Jesus. Have these guys had a weekend ever?
Lieutenant Winters?
Is he going to give him his set now?
As first lieutenant, you'll serve as my executive officer. Congratulations. And as a test of your organizational skills and command potential,
Oh, God.
I am designating you mess officer for 14 days. Report to the mess kitchen at 05:15 hours.
Ha.
There's rain forecast tomorrow, so the company will have a light afternoon of lecture and classroom instruction.
Excellent.
I think a special meal before their afternoon off would be a welcome change of pace. Would you agree?
Is he setting them up for something?
Is it?
I like spaghetti.
Hey. What's up with the meal?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to make them do so, right?
Is this a psychological trick, or is he trying to, like, get them all bloated and uncomfortable or
I think
something?
it feels like he's trying to get them bloated and uncomfortable. Because his tone and the way he said that,
Yeah.
he doesn't ever come off as nice and easy.
He's not a guy that does, just, like, nice shit.
Oh, come on, gonorrhea. As a fellow Italian, you should know that calling this crap spaghetti is a mortal sin.
Oh, my God, because his name.
Orders change! Get up!
Oh, my. Oh, shit.
Easy Company is running up curry!
Oh,
no.
my God, of course. Oh.
I would barf.
Yeah, that is
Everywhere.
a lot of barf now.
Let's go! Let's go!
Ugh, ugh, ugh. What a monkey's paw.
Yep.
You got this promotion, you give him a special lunch, now everyone can hate you for that.
There's an ambulance waiting for you at the bottom of the hill. It can all be over right now. No more pain. Roll upon the rises. Roll upon the rest.
Yeah. Let's think of something that we actually like. It's like, I will make you all quit. Hey, give it up to Schwimmer. He's doing a great job, man.
Yeah, it is fun to watch him in this role. And to see, like the way they're depicting the growth of this unit and the tempering and pounding and folding is fascinating.
And
you see the weird,
and the
delicate
strenuous
balance.
environment in which they have to grow in.
So do we feel like we're ready to be Army paratroopers? Yes, sir! This will be the first of 5 exits from a C-47 aircraft scheduled for today.
That's Stephen Graham. Damn.
That rhymed. Not bad.
I think. I get him confused with Rory Kinnear sometimes. Notably on the Hobbit reaction, or the Rings of Power reactions, I should say. I thought Tom Bombadil was...
Oh, he looked nervous there for a sec, Schwimmer.
Yeah, well, that shit's real now.
There'll be a lot of men dropping from the sky today. Hopefully, under deployed canopies.
Sure. Yeah, dude, the back and forth is really effective.
Yeah, it's really good editing.
All you have to do is remember what you were taught.
The lieutenant looked way more calm than
gravity
him.
will take care of the rest.
Than Schwimmer. Wow.
This guy who's briefing them looks like Max Headroom, but I don't think it's that guy.
Look at that. That's
Whoa.
a bit amazing.
Oh shit! Come on. Are you gonna be able to do it? All right.
Oh, I thought it was gonna get stuck for a second.
Wow. Wow, the POV.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I wonder how they would have done this at the time.
Whew. Fascinating how you can dish out all that, and then when the moment comes, it's like.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's all different once you get up, and like height is deceptive because from the ground, things that don't look so high.
Any refusals in the aircraft or at the door, and I guarantee you, you will be out of the airborne.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. This. Don't cut to my man. Is it gonna be that guy? But yeah, like once you get up to a height and like even 20, 30 feet, you're like, oh shit, this is way higher than it looks from the ground. So like I can't imagine from this guy. Like I've never skydove before.
I have never, will never. I'm afraid of heights.
8,000, 9,000.
All right, now we do our run.
Yeah. Go barf that bread water out.
Now just think, if you had any class or style like me, someone might mistaken you for somebody.
You mean like your fucking sergeant?
Just kidding.
The wink is great. Oh boy.
Now, parachute infantry is a brand new concept in American military history. But by God, the 506 is going to forge that brand new concept into victory.
Whew.
I want you to know that I'm damn proud of each and every one of
Hey.
you. So I want you to have fun and remember our motto: Karahi!
Karahi. Coffee. June 23, 1943.
North Carolina?
Call NC. Oof. Whoa, cool shot.
Pause.
He's like the lead of this episode, in a way. He doesn't feel like he's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the episode feels like it has one main character, but like, yeah, it's fascinating.
But I feel like the guy who's right under him is going to take his place at some point.
Yeah.
Position.
He's
Oh,
way more.
shit.
He's way more stoic and calm than him.
Let the enemy team come in our killing zone. They're right out there somewhere. Let's just get them.
This is.
Sir, we have perfect cover here.
Yeah.
Deploy your troops.
What the hell is happening? It's weird. He's so confident when he's
like
the drill
teaching.
sergeant.
Yeah, but
in
when
these,
he's in an actual situation,
he doesn't seem as steady-minded. Oh my God.
That
was a very bad idea.
Gone, so.
Yeah, that was a very bad idea.
Captain, you've just been killed, along with 95% of your company. Your outfit?
Easy Company, 2nd Battalion, 506.
Oh, this is going to be bad for all of us.
3 wounded men on the ground, and report back to the assembly area.
Dude.
That was all your idea, dude.
This is fascinating.
Lieutenant Harry Wells, just in from the 82nd.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Oh, thanks. You want to call it that?
I'm hearing a lot of rumblings.
Sobel? Just talking about that.
Oh, no.
Gets a little jumpy in the field.
Yes. Gets very jumpy on the plane, too.
Yeah.
Listen, if we discuss it, I think it should just be amongst ourselves.
Absolutely.
Ugh. Oh, my. Yeah. Oh, no. Your authority, dude. Oh,
And now we
no.
get jumpy when he arrives.
Oh, no.
2nd Platoon ready?
Oh.
Ready, sir. Then get them in formation. We're moving out.
I mean, this is something that's got to be talked about.
Man's eating an apple. I don't know. I mean, the chain of higher command must already be aware of this. I mean, he got dressed down by that guy earlier. There's got to be already machinations to move him someplace. Then again, I don't know how all this stuff works, so.
You gotta admit, he's got no chance. Either the crowd still get him, or one of us.
Now they must have put him in charge for a reason.
Oh,
yeah, 'cause
my.
the Army wouldn't make a mistake, right, Chief?
Yeesh. Say something, Donnie. Yeah, this is a fascinating look at like, yeah, the use of both empowerment and like hate, but also respect versus the little cracks in that trickle up.
Told you I'd have to kill you. So don't tell me. New York City, troop ship, England. We're invading Europe, my friend.
Jeeps.
Which one's Bucky and which one's Steve?
Yeah.
Since when do I drink?
I mean, he's got to be Steve. And then Ron Livingston's Bucky.
What are you gonna do when you get into combat?
I'm going to take a drink.
Oh, I have every confidence in my scrounging abilities. And I have a case of Bat 69 hidden in your footlocker. Really?
September 6, 1943. Oh, yeah. loading up the ship.
Soon your son will drop from the sky to engage.
Wow, look at the background.
Frequent letters of love and encouragement will arm him with a fighting heart.
Sure.
With that, he cannot fail, but will win glory for himself.
That should hopefully include you.
Signed, Herbert M. Sobel, Captain, commanding.
What a different, truly different time. Like, I don't know. I know that, you know, going off to war now, your family and your friends and stuff, like, you must have support, but this just feels different. Just like this kind of national unity of, like, we just all got to empower the boys and, like, you know, and the honor and the glory and, you know.
Flamingos are mean. They bite. So are the naked native girls.
Hey, my man's kinky.
Hopefully they just don't bite hard.
What if they send us to North Africa?
My brother's in North Africa. He says it's hot.
Really? It's hot in Africa?
Shut up.
Oh my God, that guy's on Ted.
No, remember I told you he was also in Dexter. We just saw him.
I don't know if I want a Quaker doing my fighting for me.
How do you know he's a Quaker?
He ain't Catholic.
So he must be a Quaker.
That prick's the son of Abraham.
Uh-oh.
He's what?
He's Jewish. Uh-oh. We gonna have a problem, yeah?
Get your nose out of my face.
Ooh.
Jesus. Oh, God. Let's not have this happen here, gang. Remember what we're hearing.
You guys took offense because he's a Jew, too.
This is, I like how dialed in he is while he's playing his card game.
Yeah. Good use of our time and energy. Aldbourne, England. September 8th, 1943. 18th, 1943. Wow. Lovely shots. Wow. Okay.
There are two basic types of fighting positions. The first is a prepared position. Gives you cover and concealment.
Our second platoon in this particular case moves over here. He's then going to close with and kill or capture that German.
Wow. This is a great montage, too. Wow. Just like a digest of all the different things you're learning.
I got there was no cut on that shot, too.
Yeah. Well, and two, you think about the machine guns and stuff, but like, yeah, the grappling, the bayonet / kind of swordish fighting.
Sobel's late.
Dude, Sobel,
Oh,
come
no,
on.
dude. What, is he going to like abandon post?
No, I don't think he's abandoned. He's just mezzing
Why
up.
is there a fence here? They're
There
throwing,
should be no fence here.
they're throwing you curveballs.
Give me the map.
Oh my God, dude, no.
Picani, Luz, get the men, get them, take cover behind those trees.
Cover behind those trees.
Is there going to be like another battalion behind those trees?
We could go over it, sir.
Yeah.
That's not the point. We're the goddamn...
You and me, American
Dude,
accents.
out in the real world, there's going to be curveballs like this.
Yeah.
Again, right? Yeah, he's lost. Hey, Luz.
It does seem like you ought to know that.
Maybe the good major can goose this smuck. Get us moving? No, oh, yeah, yes. Luz, you got it. You got it. Come on.
Oh no! Oh no! What? Oh no, bro!
Is there a problem, Captain Sobel? Who said that? I think it's Major Horton, sir.
Major Horton? What is he? Did he join us?
Oh no! Oh, this is so sad.
Damn, hold up, Mr. Sobel.
Oh, this is. Oh man.
Now you cut that fence and get this goddamn platoon on the move. Yes, sir.
Damn. Oh, this is sad. This is sad.
Sir, without Captain Sobel in the 1st platoon, it's a T intersection. We improvise. Double envelopment.
He knows how to handle curveballs.
Tell Gardner to move left with 2nd. I'll be right up the middle with 3rd. Go. Yes, sir.
Damn. Yeah, he's cool. He's calm and he's got a plan.
Calm under pressure.
Well, and it's fascinating because this is all still training, right? So, like...
Yeah, this is definitely still training.
It's also just, not inspiring that Sobel is so flustered in training situations that aren't even the real...
Yeah, if he's this flustered in training situations, how's he gonna do in the real deal?
I feel bad for him.
I think he should just be
They make you hate him at first, and now I feel bad for him.
Yeah, but he should just be doing the normal training without actually, like, having to...
This poor guy.
He's like, where do I go?
Just hang on a second. They're almost done. They're almost done.
You've done it now, Yanks. You've captured me.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Would that be the enemy?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh, no. What a charming little exchange.
Who was the idiot who cut that man's fence?
I was ordered to, sir.
Oh, no.
Major Horton ordered you to cut the fence.
Yes, he did.
Major Horton is on leave.
Oh, my God. This is very bad for him, I feel.
Yeah, you could tell, like, even though he was really harsh in his training, he didn't earn any respect.
Well, and without the courage under pressure, then his whole method, seems...
It was very
Then you're like,
tainted.
well, maybe there wasn't any point to being such a hard ass except for inflating your own sense of self.
You've been promoted to Sobel's position?
Compliments, sir.
Then again, he did make these guys great, so I don't know. Like, he certainly got all these guys capable, so I guess maybe it doesn't...
Wonder if he's taken over Sobel's position.
Yeah, I wonder. Oh,
whoa.
It's an actual basket. Yeah, I forgot that they would do that.
Oh, for crying out loud.
They spelled court-martial.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my. No, don't get petty about it.
From 0930 to 0955, I was censoring the enlisted men's mail by order of Colonel Strayer.
Censoring the mail.
I followed your orders to the minute. I changed the time to 0945.
Bro.
No one told me, sir. I telephoned.
Bro.
No runner found me, Captain. Irregardless, when given a task to perform by a ranking officer, you should have delegated.
Do you still feel bad for him?
Isn't irregardless a misnomer?
Were to let such a failure of duty by my own XO go unpunished, what kind of message is that to the men? I performed my duty as I was ordered, sir.
Wow.
Punishment for your offenses will be denial of a 48-hour pass for 60 days. Stand before me at attention.
God, dude.
Or you may initiate a letter of appeal and request a trial by court-martial.
I'll do the trial, because you're a piece of crap.
He's not even looking at him. Yeah.
You spend your weekends on the base anyway, Dick. Be a man, take the punishment.
Be a man, take the punishment.
Yeah, speak for your own words.
May I borrow your pen, sir?
May I borrow your pen, sir? Oh, my God.
Go F yourself. Please write that.
My endorsement, sir. I request trial by court-martial.
Yeah, let's get Tom Cruise to be your lawyer.
Oof, yeah. God, and he still salutes. He still does the turn.
Yeah, he's still respect. He didn't do anything.
Oh, dude, he called your bluff, dude. Oof.
Strayer did it. Well, let's try to figure out the procedures for his court-martial.
Well, Nixon better find a loophole to get him out.
And if he don't, winner scrambles eggs while the rest of us make the big jump with Sobel.
Ooh, you don't want to do that.
So we're going through with this, right?
Oh, no.
I mean, morale is going to be so down if you had to do this with Sobel over winners.
We could be lined up against a wall and shot. I'm ready to face that.
Oof. The guy on the left.
I will not follow that man into combat.
Seriously, I would not either. I wouldn't follow that man into a video game combat.
The guy they keep calling gonorrhea reminds me of, like, what if Josh Hutcherson, but also Harvey Keitel?
Hey.
Like young Harvey Keitel.
I hereby no longer wish to serve
under Sobel.
Yeah.
As a non-commissioned officer in easy company.
Well, at least Sobel's got the team working together.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's weird. It's like all this is still bringing them together and strengthening their leadership.
I ought to have you all shot. This is nothing less than an active mutiny while we prepare for the goddamn invasion of Europe.
I know, but you're preparing us for our deaths with him.
You are hereby transferred out of my regiment. Sir. Get out.
Damn, Harris.
You can consider yourself lucky that we are on the eve of the largest action in the history of warfare, which leaves me no choice to spare your lives.
Wow.
Now get out of my office and get out of my sight.
While I secretly take your feedback and apply it. It's weird, like, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like you would want people in your ranks capable of going like, hey, something's not right here, and we all gotta do something about it. That's hard, man. It's like when adherence to the system starts to hurt itself. It's all nuanced, though. It's hard. Oh.
That's respect, man.
Yeah, dude.
I believe just a few of the sergeants may have felt their loyalty lay more to the platoon than to the company.
Wow.
And these few sergeants convinced all of the other NCOs in your company to turn in their stripes?
As staff sergeants, they have a great amount of influence, sir, but as I say, the rest are good men.
Winter's court-martial has been an unpleasant distraction.
Indeed it has, sir.
Like he's slurring his words a little.
Except for the actions of a few of your non-coms, I believe you fielded one of the finest companies of soldiers I've ever seen.
It was all him, not Winters.
I mean, he did, like...
No, he did. Yeah, he did do a decent... Oh, good job, actually.
Frankly, I can't think of anyone more qualified to command such a school than you are.
Ha ha ha.
I'm reassigning you to Chilton Foley.
That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's where he belongs.
You should be teaching, or yeah.
And you should be happy about this. You're not in combat.
It's hard, because, yeah, you want to be.
I'm losing easy company?
War effort needs you elsewhere.
That's the right move.
That's sad, yeah. That's
no,
rough,
I get it.
but-
It's also a...
No, I'm not arguing with you. It's both. It's,
yeah,
it's,
it's a strike to the ego, but it's the...
Who will be replacing me?
Winters.
Lieutenant Meehan from Baker
okay, or them.
Senior.
Lieutenant Meehan.
He just saved your life, too.
Yeah.
And he saved a lot of the other men's lives as well. Because if they would have been led by him, it wouldn't have
Definitely,
been
yeah. That's a hard. I like the nuance of the way they're drawing that character. Because it's also like it's easy to be like, screw this guy, but like he's a real guy. I assume this is a real history.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, it's like he's a hard ass, but he did give them a lot. But also, he just does not belong in the field.
Sure. Oh wow, no
Whoa.
salute.
Oh, dude. See,
come.
it's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that.
Dude, you were awful to him, and he still saluted you.
You're in denial, man. And I get it. You want to be there. You want to do your part. It's hard. Yes. It's really effective. And I like that this is not even combat yet, you know?
May 31st, 1944. When did we start? On June 3rd, 1944, right? So now we're a few days before that.
Or were we in 43 at first?
No, I think the very first day, though.
We've done some jumping back and forth. Is that one guy actually Fassbender? I didn't catch all of the credits, and that one guy just looks like a baby Fassbender. If we got baby Simon Pegg and baby Stephen Graham, it's possible.
I just thought he looked like him. I didn't know if it was him.
Is all this real? Well, some of it's from the Omen. Some of these tailors knocked up. A few lads, actually, so I can get your mince pies from some of this Jerry Clubber, if you know what I mean.
Jerry Clubber.
Hey, Mac, you got a Luger? I'm dying to get my hands on a real Luger.
Yeah, go on in.
Oh, snap. Did you take that off a real German?
Is it a Lex Luger?
Boy, she sure is a doozy. Yeah, it's Tucker, isn't it? What? Hey?
Can I get a guidebook to your slang?
You're having a bar, 50-finger-half inch in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of looks a little like Giovanni Ribisi. Little.
These men have been through the
Well, wasn't
toughest
he
training
in-
the Army has to offer.
Reverend Giovanni?
I was just shooting crap through them. It's not like you know why they volunteered? So when things got really bad, the man in the foxhole next to them would be the best. Not some draftee who's gonna get him killed.
Are you ticked because they like me?
Huh.
Because I'm spending time to get to know my soldiers? I mean, come on. You've been with these guys for what, 2 years?
We're gambling, Bob.
So what? Soldiers do that. I don't deserve a reprimand for it.
No risk, no reward.
Damn.
What if you'd won?
Huh.
Never put yourself in a position where you can take from these men.
Huh. That's good advice.
On the last training jump, I had a compass. Close the flap.
Oh my god, it's freaking, oh, he's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He voices Batman sometimes in the animated stuff.
Call it 358 for 10.5 minutes. Green light, right over Ramsbury.
Ramsbury, every single time.
Oh, I remember using those.
Compass? Like a legit compass? Or a math compass?
Yeah.
Causeway number 2, the ultimate field problem. The estuary of the Douve River divides 2 beachheads, codenamed Utah here.
First name Johnny.
Seaborne infantry will hit these beaches in force at a date and time to be specified. H hour, D-Day.
D-Day.
Carentan, thus linking Utah and Omaha into a single continuous beachhead.
Isn't that the first scene, right? In Saving Private Ryan, was it D-Day?
It was the storming of the beach in Normandy,
Yeah,
right?
that was one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Between our assembly area, there is a German garrison. Right here in this area, Sainte-Marie-de-Mont. Easy company will destroy that garrison.
Woof.
chocolate bars, charms, candy, powdered coffee, sugar matches, compass, bayonet, entrenching tool.
This episode, though, is
everything.
It's a great prelude for what's to come.
Hawkins mine, 2 grenades, smoke grenade, gamma grenade, TNT, this bullshit, and a pair of nasty skivvies.
That's a great.
What was this bullshit actually called?
What you got? You're Floyd. Give him hell. From chief of the Kokomo Police Department. Right.
Huh?
You gotta love cops.
Sure.
If you did not sign your GI life insurance policy, you go on over and see Sergeant Evans at the headquarters company tent.
What is that policy? Damn.
I got a problem. My wife keeps up with things back home, casualty listing like that. Garner's brother in Italy,
I like the use of handheld right now.
killed in Monte Casino.
Uh-oh.
What do you think I should do?
For me, I'd tell him.
A couple of hours before we jump? I don't know.
I feel like
Don't
you
John
just have all the information
Don't
possible.
John Crease him and not tell him.
Yeah.
Why are they springing these things on us now?
Freaking Maddie.
Does anybody have any idea how the hell this thing works?
Colonel Sink.
That guy. I've seen him in stuff, and he's not Sam Rockwell. Who is he?
Soldiers of the regiment. Tonight is the night.
Look at this is me, the imitator.
Today, as you read this, you're en route to the great adventure for which you have trained for over 2 years.
Like how he went
Dutching
from
of the angle.
Yeah, and I like how he went from imitator to more serious back to himself as he was seeing the orders.
Yeah.
Channel coast to sock dam with rain and fog. No jump tonight. We're on a 24-hour stand down.
We're back. We're back, yeah.
Yeah.
No jump tonight.
We've caught up to the beginning now.
You look 1A to me.
Oh.
You don't look so bad yourself.
What do we got, buddy?
Dearest Johnny.
Should you be giving blood?
I woke up.
Huh?
Got the wrong goddamn jacket.
Trying to watch the picture, man.
Bill Garnier's brother.
Bill doesn't know. What the? Did his brother die? Oh no. Huh.
Is that a knife in his boot?
Yeah, probably.
It's just hard to tell because of the way it was lit.
Out in the early hours.
June 5th. Day away.
6-7, kids. Had to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's the rules. It's the rules.
Opportunity let itself there. So
We're on the internet.
Yes.
Damn. Always these kinds of shots in war stuff, in World War II stuff especially. Just, people just...
Faces right before war.
The moving version of, every, old war photo you've seen.
Got something you might be looking for. Took your jacket by mistake.
Eesh.
Where the fuck is Monte Casino?
Italy somewhere.
Ouch.
They said it was his brother, right?
Sorry about your brother, Bill.
Yeah.
Sorry for my mom. He was, let's get this over with.
Sure. I really like the characterization. And they're good at putting down the exposition info in, subtle ways.
Gentlemen, Doc Rowe is handing these out for air sickness. Orders are every man takes one now, another 30 minutes in the air.
One now and one when it is done.
Second platoon, listen up. Good luck. God bless you. I'll see you in the assembly area.
Sir. He is fascinating to watch, too, because he's like an island as much as he is, part of the overall ensemble.
Yeah.
I really like that moment we got with him earlier, just out on the tarmac, just in the wee hours of the morning, just kind of being.
Wire cuts are successful, and I think all we should have to deal with is culture.
One of those classic American men where you're like, what's going on under there, dude? They said you got no vices and you're not prone to lashing out in any one way or another. Who's in there?
Music is really emotional, but it's also swelling into the constant fear of the dread that's to come.
Yeah, the both dread and anticipation.
Yeah.
And it's cool because there are a lot of distinct faces and characters and people you recognize, but it really does feel like just a big ensemble.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. I would agree.
It's one thing I always liked about the movie Dunkirk, the Chris Nolan war movie.
Yeah,
is like
I never remember that's a Tom Hardy movie.
I know it leaves some people cold, but I kind of like that it's just like one giant ensemble, and there are faces, but like it's about the collective effort, and this feels like that vibe too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure certain characters will rise to the foreground at different times.
I gotta rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
God, great shot.
Wonder how often Tom Hanks was. I mean, I know he's a very busy actor, but I'm curious how often he was on set.
Yeah, I have to look at what's going on for him around this time.
Well, this is 01, right? I know he did Castaway in 2000. I think 2001. I know he was doing, what's the Spielberg one he did with DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can? Was that
that movie?
That was 02, so they were probably filming close to around this time.
Cal Hanratty.
Yeah, I got to imagine that's close to around this time.
This is a great takeoff
it's
sequence.
amazing.
I really like that they spend the time on this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're good at choosing when to put you into the like shoes of the moment, but also when to just behold the kind of steady, mechanized grace. Yeah.
Now the music, even though we know the dread that's looming, now it's very like patriotic and very uplifting.
Yeah, it's like it's picking up swell and it's starting to soar as they literally soar into the sky.
Yeah. Gives a sense of hope.
Nice little frame rate shift at the end there too.
Wow.
Whoa.
Cool pan out. Wow.
Nice compositing. Well, and this feels like a classic war movie kind of shot but with a slightly more modernized camera move that they're able to do.
Absolutely.
Combining multiple classic war shots into one pan, basically.
It's an incredible transition.
One pull out and pan.
Yeah. Don't end there, please.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. I know these words. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Allied Commander.
And he would become president one day?
I think because of the Animaniacs, I know was it 53 to 61 he was president? Eisenhower has got the power from 53 to 61.
Yeah, it is Fassbender.
Oh my God, and Dexter Fletcher is in there too. Dexter Fletcher freaking...
Jeez.
Dexter Fletcher directed Rocket Man, the Elton John movie.
Oh.
He's an actor, but he also does a lot of directing now.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and once Bryan Singer was removed from the Queen
Bohemian,
movie. He finished it uncredited. But anyway.
Band of Brothers. Episode 2. We are going to be starting in a 3, a 2, and a 1. Phil Aidan Robinson, who did the first episode.
That title card.
And Brothers.
Standing in the door, I could see the lights on the drop zone. I had everybody standing up, ready to jump. So when the plane started to get hit, the pilot gives me the green light. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Got such an opening blast from the opening shot from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had on this helmet liner.
Jeez.
Came from the sky. We hit in any direction you went. There would be enemy.
Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself mentally?
I would not be able to.
Each man must do that himself.
Yeah, how?
Each man must prepare himself
They're so
mentally
brave.
to make that jump.
Well, and you have to do it knowing you're unprepared to a degree.
You've been trained and trained and trained, and what your job is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you got to think about. And we lost a lot of people that night, but you try to put it all in your mind.
Of course.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, and you gotta hope that you did enough of your training and homework that you just have that in your sense memory. Day of Days, Part 2.
Yeah, like I actually resonated with Schwimmer's character where like he got like panicky, like in the moment. It's just the part that I got pissed off with him is where he was trying to take credit and, with Damian Lewis's character and all that stuff. But
you can't delude yourself, and it's a very human thing to discover that the classroom is real different from the field.
Just a bit.
Like,
there's no do-overs in the real field.
Yeah, man. Grip that rosary tight. It's actually really good that Scott Grimes looks different. Like, without the mustache, I'm not having as much Ted trouble here as I could be.
Yep.
Mr. Homeland. This is a really nice, moody sequence.
Wow, the way this is captured on film, too, really authenticates that we're in this time period.
Man, stuff being predominantly filmed did lend it a credence. And these moments where it's like, you're just you're on the trip, you're just waiting around, but you're also like on the edge of the war, the whole thing.
Yeah. I like seeing like the different facial expressions of before the battle, the mental psyche of everyone.
Someone got to start singing. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. That red light.
Yep. Before the green light comes on. I like how you can their voices are minimized because of all the sound that's happening around them.
Yeah.
It's a very good touch. And it's
A-OK. J-OK.
Whoa!
Wow! God, yeah. Shake.
Holy. Like, you can train, but this is a whole different ballgame, John.
God, the gradient from the lights. Whoa.
Damn.
Whoa. Dang, dude. What a POV. L4. Lower back.
Jesus!
Ah.
Eesh. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you're just in a tube. Oof. Ow. Oh, no.
This is terrifying.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
I mean, they
What
literally...
shots. I would love to see... Oof. I would love to see what the making of this sequence was like, because you could tell there are effects all over the place, but at the same time, like, it's a really effective sequence. Like, it's a testament to the fact that, like, the direction and the tone can, bring it together where, maybe the realism of the imagery doesn't. It, like, creates the realism. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't look real. It does, even when you can tell there are effects. God. Ah!
Whoa, cool POV.
It's also smart that a lot of this is in the dark.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Maybe 3 more minutes on this bearing. We get any lower, we ain't gonna need any friggin' parachutes.
Where we're going,
we don't need parachutes.
They can't jump at this speed.
Oh my God, yeah, you're gonna get like whipped out. I guess.
Oh
my God! Oh no! Yes, so no. Yeah, you just gotta get out of here. I guess that yeah, it's like, what call do you make? This is going poorly, but maybe all these guys could possibly not die if they just jump now. How much control do you have over your directionality?
He's always so composed.
Yeah. Oh my Christ.
Flash?
That's you?
I don't think that's the correct reply, Trooper. I say flash, you say thunder. Yes, sir.
No, I say flash, you say bang.
I like that they have the little prelude with the, interviews.
Yeah, we get the perspective first before...
And then, yeah, they incorporate details like that, those lived experiences.
Aren't you D Company? Able, sir. Guess that means one of us is in the wrong drop zone, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, or both of us.
Gotta improvise now.
Do you have a weapon, sir?
Just my knife.
Damn, dude.
Do you have any
First
idea where
level
we
of
are,
metal.
sir?
Some. So you're a radio man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that'll help.
Well, I was until I lost my radio on the jump. I'm sure I'll get chewed out for that.
If you were in my platoon, I'd tell you were a rifleman first, a radio man second.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could tell that to my platoon leader if we find him.
This is baby Andrew Scott?
First, I need your help against the landmarks to get our bearings.
I think it is.
I wonder if the rest of them are as lost as we are.
We're
Oh.
not lost, Bryman. We're in Normandy.
Very good point.
Fair. That's a good
we
reframe.
do know where we are technically.
We have an idea. We just have a little less of a specific idea.
Where's Google Maps when we need it?
Oh, golly.
Who's that? Lieutenant Winters? Is that you?
Oh, boy. I was going to say.
That's a relief.
These guys just jumped down into the river. I wonder if they didn't notice him at all.
Any weapon? No, sir. As soon as I hit that prop blast, so long leg back.
Eh.
Where the hell are we? Sir, I saw a sign back that way. It said San Merrick Lee's.
What do we got? You got a map in there?
Flashlight. Raincoat.
You got a raincoat?
Yeah.
What?
Like how one of them made the uncomfortable, like, what are you doing, sir?
What? Fascinating.
Yeah, so you can see it. Yeah.
Oh, compass.
We're about 7 kilometers away from our objective. We're 4 hours away from when we need to have it secured. We got a lot of walking ahead of us.
Eh.
Hey, Sarge, where are we going? Causeway number 2, Utah Beach. The Germans flooded the fields inland. We don't clear those routes, our boys ain't going nowhere. 5 of us ain't gonna secure a road. Then Louis don't even have a weapon.
He is the weapon.
Because they study his sand tails, right?
Yeah.
Probably a friggin' train or...
Thunder!
Thunder.
Lieutenant, is that you?
Marky?
Oh, there's reinforcements. You can see the genuine relief on some of their faces when they get more people coming in.
Yeah.
Hey, you can see too, it's raining.
Tut tut. Looks like rain.
Light it. Go. Guard here.
It's so fascinating seeing the contrast between all the training they did to the real deal now.
Yeah.
Because the stakes are like amped up.
It's weird because there's a rhythm and intensity to the training, and there's like a constant high energy, like people are yelling and stuff. Whereas this is so quiet and it's all like sneaking, and like the violence, is lurking. Whoa! Oh my God, dude! I don't know if.
Sometimes the best element.
Oh no, the horses.
Of war is no, don't shoot them.
These poor horses.
I was gonna say you could have used the horses for travel, but it's better to sneak along, I guess.
Enough, Garnier!
Oh boy,
he's got a very happy trigger finger.
Next time I say wait for my command, you wait for my command, Sergeant.
I think we've got a loose cannon.
Here you go, Lieutenant. Kraut weapon.
Fine, Quaker.
Oh.
What's that guy's problem?
Gonorrhea.
Really?
His name, dummy. Garnier. Gonorrhea, get it?
So besides having a shitty name, what's his problem?
None of your fucking business, cowboy.
Yeah. Oh, what a shot. Yeah, with the reflections. Mwah.
You see him? He just sat there.
He didn't have a weapon. What's he gonna do, shout at him? He just wanted you to wait for his command.
Joe, he don't even drink.
Yeah, but if you're not unified and working together, like the odds of you guys surviving this are already slim. So
It's tough to, like, the balance of, like, respecting authority is a rough one. Whoa.
Oof.
Oh. Oh.
Anybody need supplies or ammo, now's the time to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
McDowell,
Oh, Donnie.
you okay?
Yes, Sergeant.
Well, let's go.
Freaking Donnie. Everybody.
Wow. Oh, that rumble.
It's the Navy.
The landings have started. Let's go.
Let's move it out.
Right on time.
Hey, not bad, team.
Cowboy.
My name's Hall.
Battalion sure will be happy to see you guys.
Where?
At the farm show.
Oh.
Where are you from, son?
Eugene, Oregon.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm from Astoria.
Let's say.
Yeah.
What the?
What gives? What are you doing in a Kraut uniform?
Volksdeutsche. My family answered the call. All true Aryans should return to the fatherland. Joined up in 41.
Wow. I hadn't even thought of that.
What got you to Eugene? I was born in Eugene.
Whoa.
Carry on.
God, just a wall. Carcass wall.
And this here's Hull, Able Company, known as Cowboy. From Texas. Manhattan.
Huh?
It's good to see you, Dick.
Fascinating. You go to this farm area to just relax for a moment, and then like, oh, you're still surrounded by so much war and noise.
Lieutenant Mia?
No one's seen him. You know, if he is missing, wouldn't that put you in line to be the next commander of Easy?
I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do that.
Hey, Lieutenant Spears, how many men of Dog Company got assembled?
Handful, maybe 20.
You the only officer that made it?
So far.
Oh.
What are the chances of that, huh? You and me, 100 miles from each other, working at practically the same job. Jeez. Hey, Malak, we're waiting on you. Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh.
I'll see you around. Yeah. See you around.
See you around. That guy's probably gonna be dead.
The way they framed that for a moment, I thought he was going to shoot him in the head.
Cigarette?
I feel like he's about to shoot them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wow.
Any of you guys know where Easy Company is?
I'm like, I wonder how that guy felt about this. Like, did he want to join his family? Was he forced to join his family?
Well, I guess that means you, Dick.
Come on.
I like that they just let...
Now, they're right between us and Causeway number 2. Firing onto the boys landing at Utah. Think Easy can handle it?
Yes, sir.
Smoking in a place like this just does seem like such a respite from everything.
Major Strand wants us to take him out. There are 2 guns that we know of firing on Utah Beach. And plan on a 3rd and a 4th.
Oh.
The Germans are in the trenches with access to the entire battery, and with machine gun cover in the rear. We'll establish a base of fire and move under it hard and fast with 2 squads of 3.
This is fun watching how much of a strategist he is.
How many crowds do you think we're facing?
No idea.
Yeah, he's got me like, I gotta keep up.
Lipton, your responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Liebgott, you'll take the first machine gun. Plesha, Hendricks, you take the other.
Could you imagine David Schwimmer in this situation?
When you see we captured the first gun, I want you in your TNT as fast as possible.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
I was wondering, sir, you need an extra hand?
What's your name, trooper?
Lorraine, sir.
You're with me, Lorraine.
Let's move!
With a purpose.
And 2, this reminds you that, like, yeah, half the time you're, like, out in the countryside. You're, like, in these...
This makes you sad to see what war does to these places.
Yeah, 100%.
Top of the lives it destroys.
Yeah, no, it tramples over everything beautiful. Not that there's never a reason for a war, but I don't know.
Betty, we got inflating fire. All right, let's go.
Oh. Thorn.
MG-42s. I'll draw their fire to the right from the truck. Take 2 men and hit them from the left.
And hut.
I want that TNT as soon as you see we've captured the first gun. Go.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Oh,
sped up the frame rate.
Whoa.
Yep. Whenever I see speeding up the frame rate, it always makes me think of war, even in a regular film.
Films have borrowed a lot of... Wow! Oh. Ah, shit. Come on. Come on. God. Ugh.
I can't see nothing.
Oh,
Climbing
come
the
on,
tree.
frickin' Donnie.
Yeah, it gives you a better vantage point. Also makes you a target to be shot at, too. Wow.
Wowie.
Nice
Wowie.
shot.
Yeah, because it looks like they are doing... It's like they're embellishing some of the shake and impact here and there. Oh. Oh.
Come on.
Come on, Buck. 2, I mean, how much battle has changed? Look at this, like, you're just crawling in the brush, you're in a tree, you're all over the place, like... Oh. Shit.
Oh, no.
Ugh. Oh, God. Oh. This is an incredible sequence.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, my God. This.
Yeah.
The camera choreography, too. Like, shit. Because at this time, you're still probably using a big, lunky Steadicam.
Whoa.
Wow.
And we're staying on this shot.
No wonder.
I can't believe I'm...
Or I guess long take.
Did you get shot in the buttocks?
Grab your weapon.
1, 2, 3.
Ah!
1 o'clock.
Oh, shit! No! Oh my god! That's insane! Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Right. Ready?
Wow.
Move! I got the first gun.
I think they said there were 2 of those guns, right?
Yeah.
Those big ones.
Here's the second gun. Grenades first. Then keep going. Go!
In a lot of ways, it does feel like a bunch of guys in a field, you know, whereas, like, you think of War Today, and it's, like, this, like, hyper-elite, like, insanely, you know, synchronized.
Oh.
Whoa.
Nick schießen! Ich hab dein Waffe mehr! Wieder! Nick schießen! Wieder! No!
No Meg dead.
Oh,
Brass.
use the brass knuckles. Ooh.
I was gonna say, that was like an exploitation movie moment.
Must be doing something right. Look! God, I'm so confused. They're firing on the third gun. We better blow this thing before they figure out what the hell's happened. I'm gonna go and see what's keeping lifted. All right.
Ugh.
Think one of those dead crabs has a Luger!
Yes,
Yeah.
priorities.
Hey, man, in this situation, I bet that helps. Yeah? Like, shit, I gotta get that Luger. Nope. Nope.
Shit! Christ, they must think he's a medic or something!
He's gonna need a goddamn medic!
I would just wait personally until all the firing stops, but that's just me.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, bob and weave.
Oh.
Naked. Serpentine, that's what they call it.
Damn,
Wow.
dude, you are so fortunate.
I need ammo, sir!
Lots of
And TNT! I've got TNT, sir!
TNT dynamite.
Oh! Ready, sir! I don't have any way to set it off, sir!
What if we shoot at it? Grenade, flare.
Really love how quick on his feet Damian Lewis is.
Yeah.
Because it. Whoa.
Nice.
Fletcher! Covering fire! Third gun, here! Lorraine, grab some more of those potato mashers and follow me! Rocky! Oh, you two, go!
Potato mashers. God, yeah, you gotta feed that belt.
These are my favorite types of shots, dude. These tracking shots where the frame rate is sped up like this.
These are, yeah, they're so, like,
they're very
hypnotically chaotic.
Yeah, and very immersive, too.
Think you got enough to take the third gun? We'll soon find out, Dick. Malarkey, let's go! Toy, cover!
Wow.
Home! Save your TNT!
This looks like it was so difficult to film all this.
Yeah, you gotta have so much mapping out.
Oh!
Oh! Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, look how huge those shells are. Wow. Ooh.
Who did we lose?
Oh yeah, he said his name earlier. I was worried about it. He insisted his name was Hall. I was like, oh no.
I'm looking for battalion headquarters! Are you kidding? It's back that away! Do we know?
Oh.
Whoa. Oh. Ooh. That hit me.
Reminded me too in Saving Private Ryan where he got shot in the helmet, took it off, and then got blasted.
Yeah, those little human. Like,
Hester said you needed ammo! Mind if D Company takes a shot at the next gun? All yours! Let's go, Dog Company!
huh? Whoa. Jesus.
Getting through that first field.
Or I wonder. Well, I'm like, do you do steady cam at that point, or?
We're gonna need it at the next gun. Let's just blow and tell them to pull out.
Wow.
MGs first. Fall back to your original positions. Okay, back to battalion. Go.
Oof.
Yeah, the sound design too in every shot and blow.
God, crane shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
We killed maybe around 20, so yeah, probably there's 40 left. I think we need artillery or maybe mortars might do the job.
Mortars. What kind of tank is that?
A really big one.
Straight from Utah Beach. We should put them to work before they're missed.
Oh my God! What a
Jeez.
Whoa.
The trail of blood.
By nightfall, 2nd Battalion had secured Saint-Marie-du-Mont, and elements of the 4th Division were beginning to move men and material inland. We had an hour to rest and scrounge whatever food we could before we had to move south and secure the town of Couleville.
Oh man.
I can't even imagine how physically and mentally exhausted you are. And it's like, hey, 1 hour, go get some rest, get some food.
Yeah.
How we doing, Malak?
We're doing good.
Doing good?
Yeah.
What the hell do you know about cooking? You're Irish.
Sir, if you have a reservation someplace else, I'd be happy to go with
Jesus Christ, give me some air.
Oh, God.
Hello, sir.
Something dying here?
Any word on Lieutenant Meehan yet, sir?
No, not yet.
That plane, man. Oof.
Don't that make you our commanding officer, sir?
Yeah, it does.
I like that. That was a good look. Like,
Joe, the lieutenant, don't
Yeah, I'll
well,
follow
you got. Well, yeah, we'll follow you, and you have our respect.
Day of first.
Especially coming from him, yeah. After everything at the start of this.
Carry on.
Right, sir.
Oh, Sergeant?
Sir.
I'm not a Quaker.
Oh.
You know that map you found? That had every kraut gun in Normandy on it. Here. What's on your mind?
I lost a man today. Hall, a John Hall, New Yorker. Got killed today at Bray Corps.
I never knew him.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, you did.
Radio op 506 basketball team, Able Company. He's a good man.
Cowboy.
Hey, Dick.
You did good
I
today.
sent that map up to division. I think it's gonna do some good.
So striking, those bangs and flashes in the background.
Wow. Wow.
That night, I took time to thank God for seeing me through that day of days and prayed I would make it through D+1.
Yeah.
And if somehow I managed to get home again, I promised God and myself that I would find a quiet piece of land someplace and spend the rest of my life in peace.
Oh,
Sure.
Oh, I hope that for you, buddy.
God, this is fascinating. It's like every bit is visceral, but it's able, because of the format, you can have like a different kind of thoughtfulness.
Yeah, but you still get that human element and the nuance.
For destroying the German guns at Brecourt Manor, the following medals were awarded. Whoa. Wow.
The company's capture of the German battery became a textbook case of an assault on a fixed position.
Uh-huh.
Still demonstrated the United States Military Academy at West Point today. Wow. Wonder if they just show them like this scene, like.
God. So yeah, they're really going for like a high level of accuracy of like, I'm sure there are things dramatized, but like they're not, there's so much happening physically. Like this episode was so much dominated by a battle that like I feel as though you could be pretty authentic with your depictions of these actual people's lives and experiences while also, you know, doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating, yeah. Guys, if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. Leave a like if you would be so kind. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the next installation of Band of Brothers comes your way. Also, if you want to get the full-length watch-along experience alongside Andrew and myself, where you can sync up with your own copy, you will have to have your own DVD box set, Blu-ray, HBO Max, as we've watched it here today. Wherever you got it, come on over to Patreon. If you see a watch-along, or if you see a reaction highlights here on this channel, there's probably a watch-along at the Patreon where you can sync up and see the whole thing alongside us. It's a good time. We have a lovely community over there. You get a glimpse into our shooting schedule day in and day out, and you get to ask questions that'll help guide and inform the discussion after the show or after each movie. And you can save yourself a little discount on some teas like these at rejectnationshop.com. We very much appreciate any and all support. But, hey, if you're here watching the video, that's amazing as well. That's the best part. So thank you for being here again. And thanks to Prepper for chopping these highlights together. This episode, not probably the most complicated, but I'm sure as we head into the thick of things, there's going to be some heavy, some heavy maneuvering that's going to have to happen to get these visible. So thank you to them. We really appreciate their efforts. And yeah, Andrew, my brother, how are you feeling?
My other brother, I'm sure Prepper's gonna be like, "This is an easy showdown, Nikes." Yeah, I'm doing great, and so far through one episode, I can understand why this is such a acclaimed and hailed show by not only the fans but my dad. He always spoke so highly about it. And yeah, just first of all, I love how they opened up the show, just actually hearing from the fine and brave gentlemen who served in the airborne, just getting into their mindset, just preparing you for what is ahead, to get into their mindset, and then actually watching and seeing. I really like how they do the nonlinear storytelling, starting like the day before D-Day, and then cutting back to watching their training. That way we really get to take time with each of these characters, get to know them. As you said earlier, it really does feel like an ensemble. And then I, again, have never watched Friends, so I took David. I'm sure you did as well, but I don't know how the rest of the audience took David Schwimmer when they in the first 5 minutes of seeing the character. But what I will say is, like, I thought. I mean, but
a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah, no. But I do know. But I do know
because Ross as a character can be very intense and very serious about stuff. So I've seen certain of these expressions.
You've seen the versatility
from David
of the character,
Schwimmer in a comedic context.
Yeah.
So you have to get used to it. But I thought I really liked watching him in this role.
But again, he's very well known. His the actor is very well known. David Schwimmer is in a sitcom, so I understand it probably could be an adjustability for some people, but I thought he was very intense at first, and it was fascinating to see not only the contrast of seeing when he's actually put into a situation, not in the real deal, but like what could be like a combat situation, how he almost literally folds under pressure, right?
Yeah,
but I also like seeing the contrast with a character like Winters, like a very stoic but very humble man, and is very respectful even when a guy is literally shitting all over him and asking him to, be an extreme. Oh, Dominic Cooper is in this? Isn't that Tony Stark's dad, right?
Yeah.
But he's also like extremely asking him to be extremely hard, which is fine. If that means like that's going to help us in our battles and help us survive, fine. But it's fascinating also when you watch that contrast of and they're building unity, how he gets that respect from the team, through their time together, and how he does it through. He doesn't do it like through a fear level which I understand why he's got to be a hard ass when it comes to David Schwimmer's character, Sobel.
Mm-hmm.
He's preparing them for the crazy shit that they're about to come up with. But, if you're going to walk the walk, you got to, or talk the talk rather, you got to walk the walk also. And he doesn't seem to do that.
When you're in that position of especially I would imagine, obviously I have no experience. So if you do, feel free to enlighten us. But I feel like, the key seems like if you're going to be that level of hard ass, you have to have earned it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to back it up. And that's the problem. And that's what's sad about it, because you realize this guy is also being trained in a way, or at least that's how I sort of interpret it, because you see, as they move into these maneuvers and as they move into these, these more elevated training experiences where they are strategic and you are, reading a map and finding a place to set an ambush or whatever, like that then is testing his ability, to lead, not only to teach, but to lead under pressure. And they're two different things. And I like the portrait they drew of that character because, you go through a lot of different feelings with him. At first you're like, God, this guy's a hard ass. And then there are moments where you're like, well, maybe there's a method to this madness. Like maybe he's one of those guys who recognizes that he has to be in order to unite the guys. But then the further you get, the more you realize like, oh, maybe you're going too far down this path to compensate for something within yourself, or some, other, whatever informs the sort of flustered nature he tends to embody when they're in an actual, situation of stakes where he's not in control. And it's a way to like try and force control is to, like really you make yourself the grindstone. And it's like there are moments where I felt really bad for him, especially watching him kind of flail because it's understandable. And it's like if you weren't such a hard ass, it would be easier to be sympathetic and to be like, that's, not everybody's cut out for, this aspect of the operation. And so, it's like it's nice when they're like, hey, we found a better place for you. And it's interesting to watch because they're like, they punish the guys who bring this up, but they also address the situation and they move Sobel to a position where, yeah, he would be better served, even though, yeah, you feel the pain within him for not being able to actually deploy and help the way he wants to, and the way I'm sure, you know, that does something to your sense of self to feel like my courage and my ability under pressure isn't what I hoped it would be. It's really hard to deal with. But then he did, you know, cold shoulders winters when he drives by. It's a complex portrait, and there are times where, yeah, you're like, oh God, it's like you're not helping yourself.
Sure.
And there are other times where you're like, I get it, man.
And he was trying to court-martial Winters, and Winters still saluted him, and Winters didn't and you know, those guys didn't get him court-martialed. He just went to the place he belonged, but his ego was so inflated, and he was, you know, really pissed off about it. But like, there's a good example of like a character you were just talking about with like, there's got to be a method to his madness, and also the guy walking the walk and talking the talk. Like, I would say Clancy Brown's character from Starship Troopers. But like, he actually, spoiler alert, if for some reason you have not seen Starship Troopers, like, he's a real hard ass as Zim, as the drill sergeant, you know, preparing the guy, the troops in that film. But then in the end, you're like, holy shit, he's actually a badass too. You know, especially under pressure, and captures the brain bug, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's but it's fascinating to see too, because that's probably how I would be. So I could like actually resonate with David Schwimmer's character, and I was like you for a moment where I was sympathetic, even though I didn't think I was going to be. But then when he was given the cold shoulder, and then he was also not only allowing his ego to just take over, but then he was like deflecting and blaming others. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, you're pissing me off now.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I do my best, especially in context like this, to remember, like, this is most likely a portrait of a real guy.
It's based on true story. Of course,
so I'm not.
Sure.
I'm less quick to be like, screw this dude. But like, the depiction here. And actually, let's introduce the first question, because it's about this. So Matthew. We've already been talking about this, obviously, but Matthew said, I remember when I first watched this, David Schwimmer being in it really threw me off and made it tough to turn on my suspension of disbelief. Do you also find it difficult, or has there been another show or movie where you found this difficult to move past?
It wasn't difficult for me, as I mentioned earlier, because I've never seen Friends. I've only seen David Schwimmer in two things before this. I saw him in one episode of Entourage as a guest, where he's playing a little bit of a dick, and he's playing him. I don't know if that's how he is in real life, but he was playing him, because a lot of characters in Entourage play themselves, but that doesn't mean that's who they are in real life. And then the other thing I saw him in was the O.J. Simpson show with Cuba Gooding Jr. He was really good in that as, what's his name, Kardashian, Robert Kardashian?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was great in that. So I was easy for me to suspend disbelief. But to the question, Matthew, they were supposed to, I know it didn't happen, but I remember reading trivia for one of my favorite Rob Reiner films, one of my favorite movies ever, A Few Good Men, which we referenced a few times while watching this. There was supposed to be a cameo in that movie from Ed O'Neill, but apparently he was supposed to be just one of the people that Tom Cruise was, talking to in the, what is it called when you when you say your witness and then you're asking them questions on the trial, whatever that pertains to. But
when he's like cross-examining.
Thank you so much. When he was supposed to cross-examine him, they've actually filmed the scene, and they showed it to test audiences. It was apparently a great scene, but whenever the test audiences were watching it, because it was right at the height of Married with Children, I think in 1992. So the test audiences just could not stop laughing in a very serious scene. And Ed O'Neill was not doing anything to make the audience laugh. They were just associated him so much with Al Bundy. And so, but I cannot think of an example right now.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm sure there is one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who's miscast or who's distracting or who can't like
Topher Grace maybe his Spider-Man in Spider-Man. I don't know.
Maybe I feel like what they turned the character into suited what he's good at. I know that there's an example of this was a weird casting. Like maybe people often point to like Russell Crowe in Les Miserables.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Which I don't know. I'll think on that. But yeah, with David Schwimmer, I mean, it certainly took me a second because I am, again, deep deep in a Friends watch here on this channel. We're 6 seasons in, so I've seen a whole lot of David Schwimmer over the past couple months in a comedic environment. And yeah, it took me I gradually got more used to his performance. I mean, I came in certainly willing. I think, like, you know, if you're involved in this, the tone suggests and the subject matter suggests that everyone's here in earnest and like cares to acknowledge the history and to carry on these stories. So like, I guess I was incentivized to, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like just the further the episode went, the more I got engrossed into who the character was and the way that they wrote, again, the dynamics of his character, the more I, you know, sort of began to appreciate it. And I think there is something to be said for the fact that I don't think this is a 100% thing they were doing, but like, because he presents a certain way and then you find out more about who this guy is underneath, I think there's like kind of a way that your association, if you have one with him, sort of works with that. Because at first you're sort of like, okay, wait, I gotta get used to him just being like a serious guy in a non-comedic context. Again, like I said, I'm used to seeing what he looks like when he's serious in a comedic context. So, you know, once that went away, and especially the more nuances came into the character, it became, I wasn't even thinking about it. And I ultimately appreciated that this episode highlighted him in a lot of ways, while, again, not making him feel like the main character or anything. Just like, I wound up quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I also think, too, really quick before we go to the next question, I think comedians make really good dramatic actors. I've seen Jim Carrey in a few dramatic films, whether it was Man on the Moon or The Truman Show. Phenomenal. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction, I believe the film was on. He's terrific in that. Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. I mean, I love watching actors who are really funny do dramatic and very serious roles. So.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, also, there's just the cast across the board in this was terrific. I thought, like, it's
Ron Livingston, the guy who played Winters, all the other. Yeah, there was a really, at least in the first episode, truly did, as you said, felt like an ensemble.
Damian Lewis. I got to learn that guy's name. And yeah, I mean, you know, the great thing is, like, I feel like, you know, we're just at the start of this, and I really like where this episode positioned things because, you know, you get the tease of like, okay, we're on the eve of like the anticipation of when we're going to deploy, and then you watch the road for a lot of these guys to the deployment and how they, you know, become this band of brothers, how they establish Easy Company, how they learn all their skills and things, and then you're cliffhanging on the deployment. And so you get, like, I think this is a really nice prelude in general because you get the life side and you know the harshness is going to creep in a real way, but you still get the muck of training and you get the sort of humanity of training. And so I really like just the flavor and the tone of this, and like the cinematography, the music,
Michael Kamen,
is really, really nicely handled, I feel like, in terms of how they do perspective and then how they interweave the cinematic visual language of documentary that we're also kind of used to now.
And the saturation really felt authentic to that time.
Yeah, I would love to know what they were shooting on, and like it's very grained, so it does look film. Or I feel like at this point in time, digital grain would look a lot yuckier. But yeah, you have a lot of these like sepia toned, you know, color palettes, and it feels older. Like you can tell this was being produced high end for HBO, but even for the time, you know, there's a difference. There was more of a difference, I think, back then between the production values of TV versus a film, and this probably broke some ground in terms of merging the two. Because like as much as there is this sort of like, there's certain things where it feels maybe not with the full breadth of what your like cinematic gear could do on a big war film. It still feels like they're using a lot of that, you know, technique and a lot of that, you know, cinematic language really nicely here. And it's, like the production values are great, incredible. And like, you know, all the different uniforms and costumes, the gear, and just the way that they jump you into the world. I think they're really good at kind of giving you nice character moments that certainly establish the big picture. And then, you know, these little moments of intensity and you know, foreboding as we get into the actual thick of things.
And as much as I'm dreading, obviously, what's to come with, you know, the actual war, I'm also looking forward to, in regards to the cinematography, some of the handheld shots and just the pan outs and the wide shots.
Yeah.
I'm excited as much as I'm not looking forward to, because I'm so emotionally invested in these characters, of course. But I'm really looking forward to it as well. The cinematography in this first episode, chef's kiss, very exquisitely done.
Yeah, really nice. Care Bear.
Band of Brothers is the second major collaboration between Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. Question, since y'all are tackling Band of Brothers, have you seen its forebear, Saving Private Ryan? Aaron and I reacted to it. It took a lot of work to get that reaction up, by the way. So if you have not already, please go check out that reaction.
It's one of our most beloved reactions.
Is it? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. I love hearing that. But I love that movie. It's incredible. What I like that this show is already, at least in the first episode, doing, that movie literally, as we mentioned during the reaction of this first episode, we start on the storming of Normandy, right? On the beach of Normandy. So we have to, like, a crazy ass battle ensues, and then we are getting to know the group that Tom Hanks is leading in that throughout that film. But as this one, like, we get to know them through the training and all that in the first episode. So I like how there's a different angle in this one. So
I like that. Yeah, it doesn't feel like, we're doing a Saving Private Ryan, but like slightly more expanded.
Yeah.
Like, even though the events overlap, you're in a different perspective and you're in a different mode of storytelling. And yeah, I've seen Saving Private Ryan. It's been a while. I revisited it while we were making that video. But yeah, I mean, that's a terrific movie. One of the best war films ever made. Certainly, it needs no introduction. But like, you can really feel the care and the attention to the spirit of the history, in projects like this. I really feel the reverence, but also the kind of eye for, again, the humanity. And in an episode like this, talking so much about the Sobel character, it's like, even though his leadership crumbles, you still see what it created for these guys.
Yes.
Like, you still see the byproducts in them. So it's like he succeeded, even though he, for his own story, feels very much like a failure, I'm sure. But yeah, I think their collaboration here is terrific. And two shouts out to the director and the writers here. I know Tom Hanks was one of the writers, but the director you mentioned who did Field of Dreams.
Alden Robinson, he did Field of Dreams. Yeah, I was also going to say, too, we mentioned this a few times during the episode, like, I actually think Sobel is pretty good when it comes to the training portion. It's just like, as we get into elevations of training into the more combatic situations, is where it's a little tougher on him. So they sent him off to the correct place. That's where he can be the most effective. So he's not terrible at his job. And then when it comes to Steven Spielberg, I think I saw in a video a while back that I think it was his father was in World War II, and that's why it's such a very passionate thing for him to explore when it comes to films, because he did Schindler's List, he did Saving Private Ryan, he's obviously working on this.
Well, I'm sure he's got various other historically minded project. I mean, beyond his other historical films that aren't in this period, I feel like he's done even more of sort of different historical war-based features and things. But yeah, Saving Private Ryan's great. This is great so far,
and also too, I think David Sobel is a very complex character too.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing, is it seems like all of them are dimensional, even if we don't know them all deeply yet. And yeah, that speaks to the quality of filmmaking that pedigree brings between Hanks and Spielberg, but also, the attention to detail and the real TLC that goes into that, I think, is tremendous. Jay Rushton.
What up, Jay?
Quick question. What nickname would you get in your company? Dude, you would be the Flash. You would be the Flash, and I would be something about humping. Because that's just always how it goes.
Humphrey.
Hump for free, humpback whale, hump.
Well, I mean, there wasn't the reason I got the name The Flash, not because of my fast running or anything. It's because of Flash Gordon, and there was.
Well, of course, it's the Gordon gives you the Flash.
Yeah, but was Flash Gordon? Was that already like?
Oh the serial guy.
Was
you always think of The Flash, but yeah.
But was Flash Gordon I know that was the movie
Flash
was
Gordon
80. Was that
it had to have been like a serial before
but was
that.
But was it in the 4? Was it already created?
I I don't know. That's a good question.
Let's see.
Flash is based on the King Features comic strip. Yeah.
1934. Okay.
Yeah,
So John's right. That would have been my nickname.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would be,
glad we verified
you would have been
this.
Flash
I
Gordon.
would have been Flash Gordon. Okay. Or imitator man, or movie. Well, they had that one guy who was referencing,
Hey, the cinema. They were cinephiles back then.
I will say too. I know we keep talking about Sobel, but also just talking about the guy, the unit, and just how they went from like fearing him and slightly respecting him to once they saw him in a combative situation to no longer having any kind of respect of any kind for him. Watching them like do that, like seeing him in it, like, oh, he's completely lost, and then doing the impersonation and then screwing him up, like that was interesting to watch. I'm fascinated the historical accuracy of something like that too. Like when someone can't withstand or hold their own in a situation where a curveball is thrown at you and you have no respect for your commander like that. So that was really intriguing to watch.
Superior officer.
Yeah.
Wild. Well, I'm not surprised
but also,
that guy got discharged.
He didn't even have like visual like sight of the guy that he was imitating, and he just took.
It wasn't. Yeah, that whole thing didn't. That whole thing was a mess, but it created the action that needed to happen. One way or another.
I'm glad it all happened. Obviously,
I'm not arguing with you. But anyway, one more question.
Yes. All right, from Matthew. Thank you again. Second question from Matthew. Bonus question. How quickly could you run that mountain with a tummy full of spaghetti? John?
10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I would
faster than any man.
I would do 9:59 just to beat him by a second as I'm yakking the whole time. I don't. Yeah,
an hour.
Yeah.
What did they say at the time was to get to the top? 23 minutes or something like that. I don't know. Half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would be yakking.
I like to push myself. But
I do too. But I'd be yakking so much that I really do not know how long it took. I love the way they played that scene, like he was really being the nicest and calmest that he's ever been, Sobel. But then John and I were like, something doesn't seem right.
Don't
right
put that on Winters. Ugh, that whole thing was very striking. Gang, thank you for joining us. I really
like this first episode, though.
Yeah, this was terrific, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here beyond the history, but just where this story decides to, articulate itself from here. Any other thoughts before we hit it?
No. Oh, and the pacing was incredible. I never felt whatever it was the length of time that episode was. So just great stuff. Looking forward to whatever is to happen, even though we know, but hopefully most of them will survive. We shall see.
We shall see.
How about you? Any final thoughts?
No, just terrific across the board. Can't wait to, be on this journey with you guys. It's been a minute since we've done something war-oriented that also feels a bit docu, and I'm excited to learn and feel and all the good things.
John and I should jump out of a plane after this whole thing is done. But when I say we should jump, we should jump out of a plane, that means me watching from the ground. John, jump out.
There we go. Yeah, if we get to 5 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. But John, what do you think so far of what do you think of this episode?
I got super sucked into this. This has been fantastic so far. This is really affecting and very transportive isn't the right word, but it's good at making. Well, maybe it is. It's good at making you feel like you're there, and it's good at kind of translating that feeling of once you're in the muck of it, you feel the elements, you feel all the dirt and the mud and the they're like trudging through a river at one point. And you just feel how wet everything is and the rain and blah, blah, blah. Like it's so, well observed. It feels like, again, from somebody who, has what knowledge I've retained from school over time, as my main basis for that. It does feel very well observed and very authentic. And the acting's great. The filmmaking is very impressive and striking. And especially I feel like it's kind of, we've talked about this before, but it's a war genre thing that you have a certain contrast between the quiet moments in between battles and the actual battles themselves, and usually you want to distinguish yourself with some kind of uniquely intense depiction of that, and I feel like this definitely had that, and it's interesting to watch it at a time where we have more visibility on what wars look like, and to watch this, it just it feels of a different time because it is, but it's just a fascinating thing to peer in on. It's a period piece. You're in the past, you're seeing how war existed and how people might have been in wars of the past, and what that has to say about, how much things have changed today, but also how much they haven't changed today. Yeah. And this has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, I'm really very immersed in this show as well. And I'm probably going to say this a lot throughout the episodes. I love how at the very beginning we actually get to see real live survivors who were in the battle.
Yeah.
And we get their perspectives and just what is going, and then their thought process of what they were, what was going on through their minds while they were in battle, before battle, and then we actually get to see it viscerally on screen. So we're already in their minds without even seeing, as we're watching the physical acting. I mean, the actors do a great job, so we kind of already know what they're thinking, but to actually hear the real life survivors talk about that and that lived in experience, it adds a different type of element because it's real.
And it's easy to forget in the moment of the fiction of the show that oh shit, these are real guys.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, and to see all the chaos and what they had to go into and to why I like how especially at the very beginning when they're about to jump into battle, the calm before the storm, and then just seeing how everyone is having to deal with that. That is such from a mental perspective, just psychologically speaking, that's such a fascinating angle to take at it because I would not be doing well. I mean, these guys are just but I like that they showed that some guys are calm, cool, and collected. Other guys are they've got finger ticks where they're anxious and finicky a little bit. So I thought that was really, it added a level of human depth as well. I think Damian Lewis is, I love all the actors, by the way, but he is just so incredible. He really anchors the cast, and I really, I love watching whatever it is he's doing, whether it's his resourcefulness, whether it's him being strategic, whether it's him just keeping everyone calm in whatever crazy and chaotic situation, whether it's him having to improvise in the moment because things just went awry. I just really adore watching him on screen. He's just a very fascinating character. Winters, he's great to watch.
Yeah.
But I love too that amidst all this chaos, that's why I like that we got that first episode where we got obviously the training, but we got to build some rapport with the cast. We got to know them a little bit, but we're still continuing to get to know them as well now in the midst of battle. But I thought that was such a wise choice to do in the first episode rather than just throw them in the war. And I think that's a fun little contrast too between this and Saving Private Ryan. But the cinematography and the camera work, I mean, you really do get transported into that time period. And I can't, we talked about it as we were reacting to it. I cannot imagine how difficult it was to film those action sequences, how long it took to shoot. Because a lot of times too, you got to do resets. You got to, when it comes to those type of action sequences, they take, I've been on sets before where simple little dialogue things that are maybe 5 to 10 seconds in the film or TV show could take all day. So those types of action sequences probably took days, if not weeks. And
for them to be as mapped out as they feel, they're chaotic, but they feel in the moment trackable and
structured.
tangible and structured.
Yeah. So well done. I mean, and I like too how everything could go from calm to quick intensity at a dime. That's that is war, right?
Yeah.
So, it really immersed you in that way too, in a scary perspective. So, but I would say the type of shots where I was just so drawn into, we were talking about it so often, is the ones where the cameras were tracking them, where they were, the frames were we had high frame rate where they were speeding it up,
Yeah.
but we were also tracking them as the
That,
actors
high
were.
shutter speed thing.
That was incredible. I'm so fascinated to know how they were doing that, but it was so freaking well done. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm really enjoying and the pace of this episode. When we got to I knew it was the end when we were getting there, when he was talking about how he's going to live his life if he's able to hopefully make it out of this, which cross fingers, but I couldn't believe we were already done. It was like so quick pace for 50. That was like such a quick 50 minutes. Like
Yeah.
I always talk about whenever we watch movies or TV shows, when something doesn't feel like it, like even though it was a dread to watch in terms of like the situation we're in, but also in terms of the frequency of time, I never felt for a moment that was 50 minutes because I was so immersed and so enjoying the storytelling that was happening and the characters that I was that I was watching. So just incredible episode, amazing TV. But any other thoughts before we get into the questions?
I just really like the way that this has an interesting structure, and I really like the way it played that tonality, because you start in this very kind of almost like it's very ominous, but also like sort of serene moment where you're just flying in the dark over the countryside, and just as it starts to kind of lull you into a state of comfort, then the battle, the pops in the distance start, and then things start to ramp up, and then you have some scene work, and then a lot of it is then this big battle, this notable, they still use it to train units today, operation, and yeah, it's got a unique structure, and then there's the calm before the storm, then there's the storm, and then there's a little bit of the calm after the storm between the next storm, and just the way that they allowed for the little human nuances when Scott Grimes runs into the guy he used to know.
About to talk about that, yeah.
It's just like that's the stuff that is the weird poetry that just makes you wonder about so many things.
Yeah, that definitely, I was not expecting to see that, but that definitely adds a level of human depth and nuance, because you just view them as they're the enemy, and that's it, which in a sense of course they are, but I like the questions you were asking as we were watching it. You're like, wait, did he actually want to fight for Germany, or did his family say, no, you got to fight? Was he forced into it? It asks some questions, in regards to that character. And also Scott Grimes' character was really what was the first words he said out of his mouth after he was shot and after he had a nice conversation with him? He was like, shit.
Well, and that just the interesting thing of there's so much on that uniform, obviously, and a lot of people would see that, obviously you see the uniform and immediately go that's my enemy, especially in this scenario.
Exactly.
And so the fact that Malarkey basically is just oh my God, I know you. Wait a minute. We grew up pretty close by. What are you doing here? The fact that he just sees the guy from back home rather than the uniform first is just an interesting thing.
Of course. And I mean, in his initial dialogue, he was making fun of him with the accent, and then he heard him speaking. He said, wait, you're from, did he say Eugene,
I guess he does see
or
the
Astoria
first, but it's the fact that once the human reveals itself, that's immediately where his attention goes.
I think it goes back to that old saying, right? Not everything is black and white. There is some gray area in there. So,
that's a phenomenon of war I'd never accounted for. Was during this time, I bet Germany would have called home their, sons and daughters from across the world to fight for the motherland.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that was an angle that was
Never
really intriguing. I was not expecting. So,
and that whole moment was just a fascinating, one of many fascinating little encapsulations of shit. Strange circumstance.
Yeah, anyways, we're going to get right into the questions. As we mentioned earlier, if you do want to start asking us questions, if you have not before, if you join us over on our Patreon page, we will shout you out and you can guide our review here. All right, starting off with Care Bear, HBO. First, thank you for being a Royal Reject, for asking a question. We appreciate you so much. HBO's Band of Brothers kicked off a major revitalization of the miniseries, a format which had mostly fallen out of production in the 90s. After winning the Emmys for Band of Brothers, HBO went on to win the miniseries category another 12 times in 15 years with titles like Angels in America, John Adams, and Chernobyl.
Oh, sure.
Question, what are some of your favorite miniseries?
Golly. I know I saw some of John Adams, but I don't have any real recollection of it.
Miniseries.
I mean, one that stuff that comes immediately to my mind is a lot of times like horror stuff, like The Haunting of Hill House, or those. I mean, Hill House being the kind of like initial one. I actually haven't seen some of the other ones. I would love to check out. Best TV mini series, because I'm like there must be ones that. I mean,
Shogun.
If Shogun weren't to continue,
I would pick that one, I guess. I haven't watched. The truth for me is I have not watched a ton of miniseries. I'll use my.
I want to watch Watchmen.
Oh, that's a miniseries?
Yeah.
I have heard.
I've heard it's pretty dang good.
Yeah. I can tell you, my dad was obsessed with Rome. I know. Was that 2 seasons or 1?
I thought it was a couple seasons.
Okay, because whenever I've said it recently, people have said it's not a miniseries. I was like, I thought it was, and then people keep correcting me.
Yeah.
My dad was obsessed with Rome. My dad loved John Adams. I'm just naming shows I have not seen that he has, so I'm using myself.
John Adams is one of the like super notable ones.
Yeah.
Like again, I remember when that came out and my family was watching it, and I caught like a lot of clippets of it and stuff like that.
If we're calling Penguin a miniseries, I'll take Penguin.
If it never comes back,
if it never comes back, but I would assume it's gonna have another season. I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine. But I mean, Chernobyl.
I heard Chernobyl is really good.
Chernobyl, I saw a bunch of the once, and I mean, I would love to watch it again because it's not super fresh in my mind now. But like, I remember being very struck by it. Certainly.
Yeah, I just saw WandaVision on there. I really enjoyed WandaVision.
I watched a fascinating 3-episode miniseries with David Tennant recently.
David Tennant, ooh,
yeah, where it was a guy's name, and it was the story of it was about this serial killer in London or something like that, which is very fascinating.
Great actor.
I don't know if I would say it's my favorite miniseries ever, but it was definitely very striking. Des was the name of that.
Des.
Yeah, golly, man, I'll have to think harder on this because I feel like they're all Over the Garden Wall. My one of my best friends in the whole world, Mallory, showed me Over the Garden Wall last year, and I adored that. So
what about Ethan of Porthos? Is that one a miniseries?
Ethan of Athos.
Or Ethan of Athos. Why do I always say Porthos?
Because Portos. Because everyone loves Portos.
Yes, of course. Ethan of Athos.
I got to watch the Pride and Prejudice one. I feel like my family was in love with that back when it aired, the miniseries version, and I should give that a look.
A lot of options on here, man. I have not watched it.
Tom Hardy, Wuthering Heights. Agatha All Along was pretty sick. I don't know if I would say it's like the best one of all time.
Definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. I'll start keeping a log of the best miniseries, and then you can ask this question again.
But comment below. Let us know
at the end of our watch, and then I'll give you an updated list.
Yeah, comment below. Let us. Oh, It. I guess that was a miniseries.
The OG Tim Curry
the
one,
Tim Curry one. I
have not seen.
I grew up on that, but I only watched it once, as I pointed out when we were reacting to the TV show.
I wanted to finish The Good Lord Bird, but I didn't. Anyway, that's what we got for right now. But ask again, and we'll
comment below, though. Let us know some of your favorite miniseries and anything you'd recommend us in the future, maybe checking out. But I believe we got one more here.
I always feel like I'm missing something. Jay Rushton.
What up, Jay?
Question: What is your favorite World War II? What are your favorite World War II films? And this reminded me of Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah, they're definitely. I mean, I think I said that one shot even really reminded me of Saving Private Ryan.
It's the Hanks and Spielberg combo. I think it's naturally it's going to be cut of that cloth.
But I like that this also contrasts itself enough to not feel like it's doing the exact same thing. It's like a rinse and repeat too. Yeah. So. What is my favorite World War II? Good Lord, there are so many good picks.
There are a lot of really good ones. There are a lot of ones we've seen. I mean, I am a big fan of Dunkirk. I like Dunkirk a lot.
I liked it too. The one time I saw it, I think I saw it with you and Greg in IMAX.
Factoring out the fact that like you kind of have to answer Saving Private Ryan, so like because everyone will say that because it's great and it deserves all that recognition.
I just
like we should pick Beyond.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think I've seen Empire of the Sun. No, that's Christian Bale.
Yeah, I haven't seen Empire of the Sun.
We saw Fury. That was
Fury
really
was
good.
Very effective.
And Glorious Bastards was really good.
Overlord.
Enemy of the Gates. Aaron and I reacted to that one. That was really good as well.
I would like to see that.
That was really, really good.
Wait, was it Tears of the Sun? Yeah.
That's
the Bruce Willis movie, and that's a different war, I think. Which would wait a minute, Christian. That's the Empire
of the Sun is with.
There's
Christian
just
Bale.
a band who also is called.
I'm pretty sure Spielberg directed Empire of the Sun.
Really? Okay.
Pretty sure that's Spielberg.
Pretty sure. Yes, you would be correct. I have not seen Empire of the Sun. I gotta see Patton. Yeah, Fury was very effective, most certainly. I'm gonna say
I want to see Thin Red Line one day. Ooh, I've heard
same.
that. I've heard the music from that with Hans Zimmer. It's so damn good. Oh, we did see Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge
that was
Was
incredible.
pretty well done.
Incredible.
I like 1970, but
I've
that's
never
World
seen
War
that.
One. That's not World War II.
Yeah, it's not World War II.
Shouts out Pearl Harbor, everyone's favorite. war
I've never
movie.
seen Pearl Harbor. Do you think that'd be a fun
golly.
reaction?
Might be. Might be. There's some stuff to react to in that movie.
I'd be down.
Tom Hanks' Greyhound was pretty good. I haven't seen the All Quiet on the Western Front remake. Two, there are a lot of Dr. Strangelove is amazing if you want to go satirical. I saw some of Darkest Hour. I mean, Schindler's List is obviously one of the all-time classics.
Yeah, it's just a hard. I mean, they're all hard, obviously, to watch, but.
Yeah, we watched Memphis Belle in school growing up, I remember. I remember at least that movie leaving some kind of, impact at the time.
There was this,
Sisu.
I'll tell
counts. Sisu is badass.
There was this movie that we watched in school. I don't know if it was a TV movie. I wonder if we could look it up. It's with James Woods. It's with Meryl Streep. It takes place in World War II. And it's with, I think, is it Rosemary Harris who played Aunt May?
Yes. No, well, yes.
I think that's it right there. Holocaust?
Miniseries called Holocaust.
Let's call that for my miniseries one.
There you go.
We watched that one in school. That freaking got, it's got a high-ass rating. Damn, 8.0. That really struck me.
Sure.
That was hard to watch, but it was really good.
Yeah, I believe it. Golly, man. There are a lot of great war cinema, is a rich genre.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to choose from here. So definitely leave us some of yours. Man, there are a ton to choose from, but those are some of ours anyway. You got any more thoughts on this?
No, just I'm really enjoying this show. It's also very tragic so far. I can only imagine it gets even more tragic as we continue to go along. So, but I'm like I said, it's a fantastic show, and I love the human depth and elements that it's really diving into as well. It's really good.
Shouts out Inglourious Bastards.
I love that movie so much.
It's you have to asterisk it, but it is it deserves, I suppose, mention in the World War II movie canon, even if it's not the traditional World War II movie, obviously.
Yeah.
And Oppenheimer, of course. Shouts out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Golly, this was a tour de force.
Yeah. Anyways, be on the lookout for episode 3 of Band of Brothers. Most likely will be out at some point soon. So thank you if you stuck with us this long. We appreciate you. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.